Opening credits. Ava and Carol Detective Agency. The Mystery of Solomon's Ring. Chapter 18. The Chase. Ava and Carol jumped into the back of the taxi, which instantly lurched forward, slamming them hard against the back seat. "Buckle up, girls. It's going to be a bumpy ride." Carol tried to figure out his accent, but it was one she had never heard before. Ava pulled out her phone. Pulling up her calls, she zeroed in on her mom's phone number. The phone rang 3 times, and then the voice she instantly recognized and despised answered. "Pronto?" "Listen," said Ava, her voice shaking with emotion. "I have what you want," she said, lying. "And you have my mom. The stupid map sent me to some crazy priest who only wants the ring for himself." "Where are you?" asked Rossi suspiciously. "We're in a cab heading for Porte de Brasilia to go back to Italy. The priest and his clone army were trying to follow us, but our taxi driver lost them." "Do you have the ring? The real ring?" he hissed, his voice full of venom. "Yes, I have my half. The old priest and his men have the other half. He tried to trick us into giving him the ring, but I'm done playing games. You two can fight it out. I'm done with your ridiculous hocus-pocus battle. I just want my mom," said Ava firmly. "You know all about the playing games. I have your mother. This is your last chance." "Aves, please be careful. You don't—" Ava's breath rushed out of her when she heard her mom's voice. "Mom, it's okay," cried out Ava. "I'm giving them the ring. This will be all over." Ava could hear Rossi's breath on the phone. She could tell his wheels were churning. Right now, she would do whatever she could do to get her mom back. "Do we have a deal?" Ava asked while gritting her teeth. "If so, meet us at the Porte de Brasilia boathouse. We're 4 minutes away." Ava didn't wait for an answer. Her hands were shaking so much, the phone fell from her fingers to the floorboard. Carol pulled Ava against her. "You did great," she said, hugging her friend. "You did great." "Thanks," whispered Ava, trembling, her voice barely audible. The girls looked through the taxi's windows into the night. The Templars' black SUVs had vanished as if it were a dream. From the back seat, they could see the driver's flat gray hat perched on top of a mass of curly hair. The driver's reflection in the windshield showed bushy eyebrows and a mustache. Was he a Templar too? The tiny car bounced and rocked as the driver took curves on the narrow road at breakneck speed. Carol and Ava found themselves smacked together and then suddenly slammed against the opposite side of the car. "Precious cargo back here!" shouted Carol. "Sorry," shouted the man back to them. "We must hurry." "It won't matter if we all die," yelled Carol as the car narrowly avoided a large outcrop of rock. Suddenly the car roared onto a paved road. Before them, they could see the ocean. Above them, the sky glittered. The taxi slowed. They were approaching the Porte de Brasilia boathouse. A black SUV was parked along the side of the road. Ava looked at Carol. "Here we go," she whispered. The taxi cautiously pulled alongside the black SUV, its engine still running. With a hiss, the SUV's window lowered. Rossi peered out at the girls, smiling evilly. He turned his head and spoke to the driver, who lowered the rear window. Inside, Ava could see her mom. Their eyes met. and a surge of anger flushed through Ava's body. Her mom smiled at her, the kind of smile that says, "I'm okay. Be careful. I love you." The taxi backed away to the front of the SUV and stopped. "Okay," said the driver, nodding to the girls. "Good luck." Ava opened the door and both girls slid out. The wind whipped off the ocean. Ava sucked in the salty air, trying to clear her mind. Carol moved close to Ava, her shoulder pressed against her, silently letting her friend know she was there for her. Rossi, along with his partner, whom the girls had nicknamed the Nose, climbed out of the car. Ava reached into her pocket and pulled out a small black box. Rossi's eyes greedily followed her hands, his mouth stretched into a wide grin. Rossi took a step toward the girls. "I only have one thing to say to you." "Whatever," said Ava, stealing away his moment of power. "I get my mom, and you get the ring. Then you leave us alone." Like déjà vu, Rossi snapped his fingers, and his cohort opened the side door. The Nose forcefully pulled Ava's mom from the vehicle. He stood grinning like a Cheshire cat, holding her arm tightly. Ava's heart leapt to her throat. She needed to focus and keep her wits about her. Now was not the time to get sloppy. Rossi, apparently happy with how things were going, turned back and sneered at the girls. "Satisfied with the merchandise?" he hissed, laughing at his own joke. "Mom!" Ava cried out, her voice breaking. "Are you okay?" Yes. Ava, be careful." Ava nodded and took a step toward Rossi. Something was wrong. The priest had promised he would be here, with the Templars. "The ring?" demanded Rossi, walking toward Ava. Then Ava saw it. Behind Rossi, 2 quick flashes of light burst through the darkness. They were here. The Templars were here. "Here," she growled. "Now give me my mom." Ava opened the box containing another fake ring, drawing Rossi closer, and just as he reached for the box, she threw it to the ground. Whoosh! A thick cloud of smoke erupted, engulfing Rossi and the bad guys. "What?" he screamed, stumbling backward and coughing, clawing at his eyes. Suddenly, a throng of people dressed in black outfits, covered from head to toe, surrounded Rossi's SUV. He spun around, confusion filling his face. What is this?" he screamed. In the confusion, Ava's mom saw her chance to escape, throwing an elbow into the Nose's face. "Oh, my nose!" he screamed as she slammed the heel of her shoe into the instep of his foot. He fell against the SUV, screaming, his hands covering his nose. She bolted toward Ava, but was grabbed by one of the Templars. "This way!" he yelled. "This way!" "Ava, be careful!" yelled Ava's mom. Ava watched as the 2 Templars quickly led her to an SUV guarded by another Templar. "We'll get the girls. You'll be safe here," said one of the men as he slammed the car door behind her. The Templars closed in, forming a tight circle around Rossi and his men. Rossi looked at Ava and Carol, hatred filling his eyes. "Clever girls," he spat. "You'll regret this." One of the figures dressed in black stepped forward, shouting out orders. The girls recognized his voice as the priest's. The priest turned to Rossi. "You should know by now that evil will never triumph over good." He snapped his fingers, and 3 Templars rushed forward, grabbing Rossi and his minions. "Secure them!" the priest ordered. Rossi's head hung as two men grabbed him and began marching him to another black SUV. The nose surrendered immediately, allowing himself to be escorted to the waiting SUV. He wasn't about to put up a fight. The remaining Templars encircled the priest. He gave each of them an identical black box. No one knew if the box they held actually contained a real half of King Solomon's ring or a fake. Only the priest knew the contents of each of the boxes. Once the boxes had been handed out, he spoke only one word: "Go!" The priest's plan was working perfectly. The Templars raced toward the dock, where a series of black jet skis moored along the dock waited for them. Each Templar would ride a jet ski out to a separate seaplane, deliver their black box, and then the seaplane would take off toward opposite ends of the globe. The ring would once again vanish into the unknown. Ava began sprinting to the SUV to see her mom. They had done it. They had captured Rossi and freed her mom, and the ring was about to be hidden away for good. But then a scream tore through the night, causing Ava's feet to skid to a stop. She whirled around. What? She couldn't believe it. Somehow Rossi had broken free.
If you're enjoying Thomas Lockhaven's audiobook content, please like and subscribe. It's the best way to help out the channel.